Yes guys, and welcome back to the channel. So this video was a requested video, so we said we do it. And Detroit fans, especially, this is for you. All NBA fans, of course, you're all welcome. But Pistons fans, especially, this is for you. So in this video, we're going to compare how the building of this current roster compares to the 2004 NBA Championship winning team, the Detroit Pistons. You know, as we all know, the Pistons bet the Lakers 2004, so shocked the world. We'll get into that in a minute. So the start lineup for that championship with Pistons winning team. The point guard was Chauncey Billups, shooting guard Richard Hamilton, small forward Tayshaun Prince, and power forward Rasheed Wallace, and center Ben Wallace. So this team, as we'll find out later on, it has no real superstar. No like definite all-star, Hall of Fame, whatever. But they worked very good as a team. So anyway, how did they get to building this team? So during the 2002 off-season, the Pistons they traded for sharp shooting guard Richard Hamilton. That's their first step they made into building this championship winning roster. So they traded for Richard Hamilton, and they also signed Chauncey Billups in free agency. So they made two of their moves right off the bat there. It's their championship winning team. They already had Ben Wallace, so that's three to starting five, all in one. Then in the 2003 off season, they signed Rasheed Wallace. So over a couple of off seasons, they got the core of their squad together, the starting five. They also had Tayshaun Prince as a defensive stopper, who could guard opponents scoring wings. So any opponent's small forwards or good wing players, Tayshaun Prince was the man to stop them. Then of course Ben Wallace, their center, who stopped everything going into the paint. Their main man there. I think he's a one defensive player of the year like 4 times in a row. Unbelievable in the paint. He didn't allow anything into the paint. And so with Billups locking down on opponent's point guards, so Billups took care of that. As I said, Tayshaun Prince guarding the opponent wings, and Ben Wallace guarding the paint. This Pistons team, they kept opponents under 100 points in 78 of their 82 games during the regular season. Unbelievable. 78 of their games, they kept opponents under 100 points. Defense was the name of this team. Suffocating defense. As I said, no real superstar, but they all play together. Defense. And then the coach behind all this in 2004 was Larry Brown, and John Dumars was the executive that put this team together. Now later on, this team fell apart, when everyone left, and Dumars was highly to blame for all this. But he built a championship winning roster, so I give him some credit. Credit is where credit's due. And as I said, with no true superstar, this team beat a star-studded Lakers. They had Shaq, Kobe, Karl Malone. They had some after they three-peated. No one expected them to beat them. They bet them 4-1, bet them in 5 games. Phil Jackson's the Lakers as well. And they suffocated them with their defense. And every player was willing to work for each other. This team, they all work for each other. No superstars said, and they all just did what they had to do for each other. So a great team. They built. John Dumars built, and of course, Coach Larry Brown helped them along. So, this was the last time the Detroit Pistons won the championship, and they shocked the world winning the championship. They weren't expected to win it. And of course, then the next season they made it to the finals again, but this time they lost to Greg Popovich and the San Antonio Spurs. But no shame in that, they still got more than people expected. Anyway, on to the current roster now for the Detroit Pistons. They did a lot of work this off season, a lot of trades, a lot of signings. So, we're going to start off with their head coach, who's Dwayne Casey. So Pistons fans, you can tell me, you guys know better than me if you like him or not. If you're Dwayne Casey in or out. But he's your head coach at the moment. They brought in the next big team builder, and Troy Weaver. He's with the OKC, and he helped draft Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Serge Ibaka. So a good list of players there. And this year he drafted point guard Killian Hayes, center Isaiah Stewart, and he also got Sadiq Bey. So Killian Hayes, most people thought they got him on the number 7 pick, and most people thought that Killian Hayes would be a top 5 player. So this is meant to be a very good pick for the Pistons, and I think it is. And the Pistons needed a point guard going into this off season, and they got a lot of forwards as we get into in a minute. So they'll definitely need Killian Hayes and his services. But at the moment the Pistons have 22 players on their roster. So I'm gonna need 15 of them. They don't need all these. 15 out of 22. You only need 15. So in the guard position, you got Derrick Rose, obviously, who they might be still looking to trade. You got Derrick Rose, you got Killian Hayes, you got Sabi Lee, you got Jalen Hands, who we got in the trade. Then you got Dylan Wright, and you got Servidis. Then small forward, you got Josh Jackson, who you got this offseason. I think that's a good pickup for them. Anthony Lamb and Shadiq Bey. Then you got Blake Griffin, Jeremy Grant, Dumbia, and then you also got Plumlee, Isaiah Stewart, and Okafor. Also, I think got Trevor Reeves in there. You know, you got him in a trade with the Rockets. And now they still need another shoot guard, another shooting guard. More depth in the shooting guard position. I think they need to do to finish off this off season. Now, a projected lineup that could possibly happen with the Pistons this season. You could have Derrick Rose in the point guard, Killian Hayes shooting guard, Jeremy Grant small forward, Blake Griffin power forward, and Mason Plumlee centre. Now, if that's your starting team, Piston fans, tell me how you feel about that team. Do you think it would work? You know, with Derrick Rose and Killian Hayes in the backcourt? Would you think Blake Griffin, Jeremy Grant, would they work together? And Plumlee in the centre, would that all work, or you need some of them on the bench? Pistons fans, you tell me. You know, what do I think? I don't think that would work. You know, I just don't think. I just don't think Derrick Rose, Killian Hayes, Jeremy Grant, Plumlee doesn't really matter. But Jeremy Grant, Blake Griffin, would he get enough touches? Grant, I think, will be fine actually. Grant, he did it with the Nuggets with Nikola Jokic and Murray, so he'll be fine. So maybe this might actually work. But I just don't know about can Killian Hayes and Derrick Rose play together. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that one, I suppose. But I think this has been a step forward in the right direction for the Pistons this off season. They made a lot of moves, as I said, but drafting Killian Hayes was a very good draft. Anyway, overall, Troy Weaver is showing he's building another championship winning team. Now this is, it's a long way down the road. Pistons fans, don't get too excited. Like they have their future point guard in Killian Hayes. And if any of these random drafts they've made, like Stewart or Shadiq Bey, any of these players work out and turn to a future star, then they might be on something big. Then they made some good moves getting Jeremy Grant and Josh Jackson. They also have some experienced players like D Rose, Blake Griffin, Mason Plumlee. They got good depth in the forward positions. They got more than enough depth in the forward positions. And as I said, if some of those draft picks turn out to be good, they're on something big. Now, I don't think they're going to playoffs this year. Let's not get too excited. There won't be a playoff team this year. The East is getting stronger. Not going to be playoffs this year. But it's a step in the right direction for the Pistons. They need to build on this again next off season. Bring in a few more good players. Maybe draft some other good players. I don't know what their draft odds will be like next year. What kind of picks they're going to have. But I think they have a bright future. With Troy Weaver, they might get the next Serge Ibaka, next James Harden. Who knows? But let's get on some of their noticeable trade business. They made so much moves this season. Not going to name them all. But the noticeable bits that they did was Weaver, he traded Luke Kennard to the Clippers for the number 19 pick and Jalen Hands. So Luke Kennard was one of the Pistons' best players last year, but they're rebuilding. They only kept 3 players from last year's team are still on this team. D Rose, Blake Griffin, and Dumbia are the only 3 players on this Pistons team from last year. He signed Mason Plumlee on a 3-year, $25 million deal. A slight overpay, I think, but he's a decent player. Good player to have on your team. Signed Josh Jackson, who I think is a good pickup. They got Jeremy Grant on a 3-year, $60 million deal. Then they also lost Christian Wood in the sign and trade with the Rockets. The Pistons got a pick and Trevor Ariza. So losing Christian Wood, but replacing with Jeremy Grant, it could be a business all in all. They got Dwayne Dedmon, but they waived him a couple of days after, so you must see Dwayne Dedmon in a Pistons uniform anytime soon. But overall, I think a good off season for the Pistons. You can see the similarities, from the 04 team. They're slowly building their team. They got their point guard. As I said, Chauncey Billups was their point guard back in the 04 team. And now they got Killian Hayes. Jeremy Grant, how long is he going to stick around? He could be, depends if you can play him small forward or power forward. He could be Rasheed Wallace, or he could be, he could move on. Who knows? And then centre Mason Plumlee. He definitely won't be the Ben Wallace of that team, but they might have to draft someone. See, if something like Isaiah Stewart, if he turns out to be something incredible, that's what I'm talking about. That could spark this team into potential contenders again in the future, a couple of years down the line. But anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. Now, this video, I suggested a video, as I said. So if Pistons fans want to get in comments and have anything I wanted me to add into another video, let's say for example, I might do the Isaiah Thomas Pistons team. If there's anything I didn't mention in this video that you want me to add in to that video, make sure to leave in the comments. And if you're another fan of any other team and you want me to cover that team, leave in the comments as well. Anyway guys, with all that said, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you're new, and make sure to turn notifications, because over December I'm going to be making that video every single day until at least Christmas Day. So you're going to get at least 25 videos, probably more some days. And you know guys, just stay notified, because plenty of videos will be coming out. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and with all that said, I'm out of here.